Hello friends. So in this video we will discuss about that check if string is rotated by two places. So this is a very famous question. Because of that this question asked in Amazon. This question asked in Amazon as well as in Echoline. Okay. So let us discuss about that problem. You have given a two strings A and B. Okay. They, So basically you have given a two strings name called A and B. The task the task is to find if the string B can be obtained by rotating another string A exactly by two places. So what are the means? I am discussing about this problem just like it. Let us discuss about that problem example. Okay. So basically you have given a two strings like A and B. A and B. So our task is that if we rotated the two string character, if we rotated the two string character si- clockwise as well as anti-clockwise. So our answer our B string is equal likely to the A string, just like it if we rotated the M at this place and A in this place. So our string will be equal to the A string. Amazon is equal to the Amazon. Only by only rotated two places. Only rotated two places. I hope you all are understood very well. So in this example it is a true, it is a valid example, it is a valid, so that's why we will return 1. Because of that we if we rotated only two element clockwise as well as in anti-clockwise, if it is valid, if B is equal to that A, look like A is equal to that B, so we can say that this is our valid string valid string. So that's why this output is 1, because this can be obtained from rotated two places element. I hope you all are understood very well. So let us discuss about that another examples. This is another example like geeks for geeks and geeks for. If we rotated uh, any two character like or in anti-clockwise or geeks in clockwise, so I can't obtain B is equal to the A. I can't obtain B is equal to the A. So that's why our result is 0. We cannot find that answer, uh, a valid answer like A is equal to B. Like A is equal to B. I hope you all are understood very well. A is equal to B. So I hope you all are understood very well. So that's why this is a false. So we will return 0. Okay. So this is the another example like Amazon and Onemix. So let us discuss about that. Amazon and Onemix. If we rotated the two character of a second string, like O at here and N after here. So we will get that Amazon. We will get that Amazon. So this is our valid string. This is our valid string, and string 1 is equal to the string 2. String 1 is equal to the string 2. I hope you all are understood very well. You all are understood very well. So let us discuss about that approach. Let us discuss about that approach. Firstly, what we will do? Firstly, what we will simply we will simply check that if this if this string if this string uh, if this string is a rotated clockwise or or anti-clockwise. So how can we check that? How can we check that? Just like we will we will take that last two substring of a second character, last two substring of a b b string, last two we will pick that last two character of this string b, and and add with am add with a zone. So what we will get? We will simply get Amazon. We will simply get Amazon. So yes, it is the valid string, and we will simply get that. We will simply get that. We will simply get that B grade. We will simply get that A A string. So these are the anti-clockwise direction. Anti-clockwise direction. We get that anti-clockwise direction. So I hope you all understood very well, just like anti-clockwise. So last two character, if our length is if our length b is equal to the m, so last two character like m minus 2 plus 0 to till m minus 2, 0 to till m minus 2. M minus 2 means 0. If we our indexing is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So m minus 2 means am, and 0, 1, 2, 3. So if we add am plus azon, we get amazon, and it is equal to the a equal to b. It is equal to the a equal to b according to that anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise. I hope you all are understood very well. So let us check that check that another example, like geeks for geeks. It is obtained or no? It is obtained or no? Just like it. I hope you all are understood very well. So this is our another example, like geeks for and geeks for geeks. Okay. So if we rotate it like or in anti-clockwise, or in anti-clockwise, just like or plus geeks f. So we can't get that a. So we can't get a. So this is false for anti-clockwise. And let us we check that in this case in this case we get that same string by the help of anti-clockwise, by the help of anti-clockwise. If it is not valid for the anti-clockwise, so we will check that clockwise. I hope you all are understood very well. So or plus geeks f is not equal to the just like a. It is not equal to the just like a. Okay. So I hope you all understood very well for the anti-clockwise. For the anti-clockwise, it is not equal to the a is equal to b according to the anti-clockwise. So let us check about that. Let us check about that clockwise. Check about that clockwise. Check about that clockwise. How we can check about that clockwise? If we if we take first two elements, if we take first two elements like GE, and 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 that remaining all the element, just like double E K S G double E K S F O. Okay, just like firstly we will take that double EKS according to that anticlockwise. EKS G double E A S F O R plus G. So here if we add that two string so we can't get, also we can't get that A. So this is also a false for that clockwise direction. Also false for that clockwise direction. I hope you all are understood very well in this example. In this example. So let us discuss about that another example. Just like another example is the is the Amazon. Is the Amazon and Amazon. Onemis. And then Onemis. I hope you all are understood very well. So let us discuss about that third and last. I hope you all are understood very well these two examples, and this is the last example I will just explaining you. So you have a string 2 like Onemis. If we rotate the last two character, if we rotate the last two character like first and firstly we will check that in anti-clockwise. Firstly we will check that in anti-clockwise. Anti-clock in anti-clock. So what we will check that anti-clockwise AZ firstly we will come. AZ firstly we will come plus O negates. O and just like we will divide the last two character AZ and add with O names of first four character O N A M A Z. So we can't get that Amazon. We can't get a string one. So this is failed for the anti-clockwise. So this is failed for the anti-clockwise. So let us check about that clockwise. Let us check that for that clockwise direction. Okay, let us check that about clockwise direction. So firstly we will what we will do. Firstly we will store that ms. This is our first. This is our that first clockwise direction. This is our first clockwise direction like uh, ms plus first two character so on. So what we will get, we will get that Amazon. We will get that Amazon. So yeah, so in this case we can say that these string if it will be rotated that anti-clockwise, so we will get that first string, and we will simply return that this is a valid string, and we can say that this is a valid string. So what we will do that our approach like that anti in this anti-clockwise. Firstly we will take last two character. You can also check them and add with add with first add with starting index 2 till m minus 2 index. Okay, and in this clockwise direction, firstly we will get that first we will store that a 2 string to m string, and After that we will add with 0 to 2, add with 0 to 2, and we will simply add it. And if it is both of one, any both of one is equal, is equal to means that we will get that uh, first string, so we will simply return true. Otherwise otherwise we will return false. I hope you all are understood this approach. You all are understood this approach. So let us discuss about that. So basically we will store that s1 dot length and s2 dot length in n and m. Okay, if this n and m is not equal, just like just like this case, like just there have only three character in s1 and 4 character is s2. So how we can say that this is a valid string? So that's why this will always always return a false value. So that's why we will we will return 0, as if n is less than and equal to 2 for 2. So we will just compare s1 character and s2 character. If it is equal means that their difference is 0, so we will simply return true. We will simply return. I hope you all are understood very well. Just like I am just explaining you. Just like first two character, first two character in this string, just like A Z and A M. We will check that if AM and AZ is equal or not. If it is not equal, so what we will do? We will simply return false. Otherwise, if it is equal to that second string, just like AM is equal to AM is equal to the AM. So we can say that this is our this is our valid string, and we will get that first string. Okay, I hope you all understood very well. So that's why this difference is 0, so we will return true, otherwise we will return false. And we will make a string clockwise, and we will make a second string anti-clockwise for storing the clockwise and anti-clockwise string. After we will look at it. Firstly we will store the anti-clockwise. Firstly we will store the anti-clockwise string from s2 to substr m2 to s2 plus m substr to 0 comma m2. I hope you all understood this code, as well as in clockwise direction to store. And we will simply return that if any of them string is equal to 0, any of them, so we will simply return we will what we simply return we will simply return true. Otherwise otherwise we will return what we will return false. I hope you all understood this code. This is the code of C++, and here is the Java solution. Just like same, we will simply store the length in n and m. If n is not equal to m, so we will simply return false. Otherwise, we will check that for the two index for the element uh, n less than equal to 2. If it is equal, so we will simply return true. Otherwise, we will check clockwise and anti-clockwise direction. In anti-clockwise, we will firstly take to m minus 2 to the last index, and and add with the substring from 0 to till m minus 2. Okay, and we will check that for that the clockwise direction, and we will simply return that clockwise direction in anti-clockwise direction. If any of them return true, so we will return true, otherwise we will return false. I hope you all are understood this approach. You all are understood this approach. But this approach, but this approach took that time complexity order of n, time complexity order of n, and space complexity also takes order of n. Because of that, we will store the string in anti-clockwise and clockwise, anti-clockwise, anti and clock. That's why these approach is feasible, but it is not very good approach. So how we can solve that in in a constant space? In a constant space. Let us discuss about this. Let us discuss about this approach. I hope you all understood this approach, but we will solve this problem in this in this a constant space. So how we can solve it? Just like in this example, here in this example, we we will simply check that we will simply check that for anti-clockwise and clockwise. Just like in anti-clockwise, we will check that first character of string A is set with the first character of string B. If it is equal, just like we will check it. How we can solve this problem in a constant space? Okay, so here, so firstly we will check that if it is anti-clockwise direction, if we rotated this string in anti-clockwise direction, so we will firstly check that our first first character of second string is likely equal to that third character of a first string. Why? Because if we rotated that if we rotated two element in this position, so we will simply get this string. We will simply that this is the string. I hope you all are understood very well. You all are understood very well in this approach. So let us check that. How we can check? So firstly we will check that first character of a second string to that third character of a first string. If it is equal, so we will move that next character. If it is equal, so we will simply move that next character. If it is also equal, so simply we will move that next character. If it is equal, so we will check that a fourth character of a second string, to first character of a fourth character of a second string to the first character of first string. If it is equal, so we will check that string last character of a last string of a second string and the second character of a first string. If all the string is equal to that second string, so we can simply say that this is our valid, and we will simply return true or 1 or 1. Okay, so let us discuss about that another example. Just like in this example, if we simply rotated the if this string is equal to that clockwise or anti-clockwise, we will firstly check that anti-clockwise. So anti-clockwise, we will check that second first character of a second string to the third character of a first string to the third character of a first string, like G is equal to the K not. So we will simply check. We can simply say that this is this can't rotate that anti-clockwise, and we will check that for the clockwise direction. For the clockwise direction, so how can we say that for the clockwise direction? We will simply check that if K is equal to G not. So this is also invalid for that, invalid for the clockwise direction, invalid for that clockwise direction. So we will simply return that false. We will simply return the false. I hope you all are understood very well. Let us discuss about that third and last approach. Third and last example. So firstly we will check that. Firstly we will check that for the anti-clockwise direction. So I hope you are all are try this example in your notebook. So let us try about this example. Firstly we will rotate that anti-clockwise. So how we can first, so we will check that first character of a second string and third character of a first string, if it is equal or not. O is not equal to the A. So we will simply return false in anti. So we can't rotate in anti. We can't rotate in anti. And we will simply check that. We will simply check that in a clockwise direction. In a clockwise direction. So how we can check that in clockwise direction? We will simply check the third character of a second string. Third character of a second string and first character of a first string. Like A is equal to A, yes. M is equal to M, yes. A is equal to A, yes. Z is equal to Z, yes. And fifth, and we will check also that first character of a second string and fourth character of a first string. O is equal to O, yes. N is equal to the N. So we can simply say that these string rotate in a clockwise direction if any of this string rotated anti-clockwise, either in clockwise. So we will simply return true. I hope you all are understood this approach. You all are understood this approach. So let us discuss about this code. Discuss about this code. Firstly, we will store this string length, and we will simply return false if either of this character, if either of this character, if either of this length of a string is not equal. So we will simply return false. Okay, and we will firstly initialize that the clockwise direction is true and anti-clockwise is also true. So we will check that for the clockwise direction. For the clockwise direction, if string one, if string second is, if in this in this in this clockwise direction, so how we can solve that? First string of a first character and second string of a third character. If it is equal, yes, it is equal. So in this case we will check that first string of a first character and third string of a second character. In this example, in this code, we will divide by n. Why? Because of that boundary case. When we will traverse all the element one by one, then we will not drop out from this index out of bound. We will simply move to that. We will simply move to that in a boundary in this exam in this string. We will simply traverse in this string. Okay, I hope you all understood very well. For the, if any other time string 1 is not equal to string 2, we will simply return We will simply change that a clock value with the false, and if it is not equal to the false, so we will check that a second time for the anti-clockwise. If any of them, if any of them is false, is false, so we will simply return. If any of them is true, if any of them is true, so we will simply return true. Either either false. I hope you all understood very well. So we can simply compile and run. So 1 is equal to 1. So this is the solution of C++. Here is the solution of Java. This is the simply Java code, just like n not equal to m for the base case. Firstly, we will initialize that the boolean clockwise true, anti-clockwise true. First, and we will check that for the clockwise condition, and we will check that for the anti-clockwise condition. If any of them is true, so we will simply return true. Otherwise we will return false. So you can also check that this string is equal to the this string. I hope you all understood very well both the approach. This approach only take order of one space complexity, order of one, because no any space will be required at here. So order of one. So this is very feasible than compared to this. I hope you all understood very well. If you have any doubt, please comment it. If you have really liked it my video, so please like, please subscribe my channel. Thank you.